Morning. Good morning. It is July 3rd, 2024. We've made it, Country Prepper. We're halfway through the year. So, 4th of July is tomorrow. You all know it's one of my favorite holidays, but we're going to talk this morning about food. We're going to talk about food. I think we've been sold a bill of goods. I think we've been sold some bullshit. What do you think, Country Prepper? What I'm about to tell you about this little tiny jar right here. See that little tiny mason jar? I think we got food all, everybody wants to can food, can food, can food. I think we got it all jacked up. We got it all jacked up. So I'm going to talk about why we got this all jacked up and wrong right after this video, celebrating and talking about my favorite holiday here in the United States, which is the 4th of July. So I'll be right back after this little brief video, and we're going to get into why are we screwing up when it comes to food, when it comes to canning food. Can you imagine? Oh, wait till I tell you this, y'all. Wait till I tell you this. Everybody has their right to their own opinion, but I got a new attitude on prepping, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, yep, that's for sure because you never know. Hello, Morsky Puff Puff Marshmallow. Hello, everyone. Welcome Morsky to the chat. Um, yeah, I think that something could pop off this 4th of July. I mean, I think every time we have a mass gathering for a holiday or an event, Country Prepper, I think that we have that perpetrators have the opportunity to come in and give us the boop boop. And how many times have we seen mass shootings, civil unrest during holidays? Remember what happened last year during the 4th of July? There was a 4th of July parade. There was a sniper taking shots, pop shots at the street to disrupt the parade and the kids and the parents and all that. Do you remember that, Country Prepper? So let's watch this video. I put this out last year. I have two more videos that I'll be putting together for the 4th of July, except this year on the 4th of July, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be live streaming from an event. So I hope that y'all will join in on that. 4th of July is always such a fun time here in the United States. And Country Prepper, I think you're right. We have to be cautious and careful. But you know what? We got to keep on giving them hell. Shit. Here you go. I'll be right back. To celebrate the 4th of July, barbecues, fireworks, flags, and parades. Independent Day evokes so many images of the American summer. Its original purpose was to celebrate the birth of the American nation on July 4th, 1776. It has given way to many festivities that celebrate both America and the lives and freedoms and the accomplishment of American independence that which we have been allowed. The signing of the Declaration of Independence is a time not only to reflect on what happened America's founding, but also to look again at the nation's values and recommit ourselves again to those wonderful ideals of hard work, true American patriotism. And tonight, I want to celebrate the 4th of July. We're going to do four videos celebrating the 4th of July, and I hope you really enjoy this. Let's go.
Bringing in the low, or the waitress, the mechanic,
So we're not out of time yet, folks, but this is what I wanted to talk about this morning. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Carol, Country Prepper, Morsky. Good morning, everybody. Lurkers, good morning. So, we always talk about food, food, food. Everybody wants to prep food. Let's prep food. We got to prep the food. We got to have food. Well, so I want to talk about something that I'm going through this different phase of my life. I'm getting ready to move out of the cabin, and there's a lot of food here, a lot of food. So I was like, Lord have mercy, this food idea is great. Canning food is a great idea. Okay. It's a great idea. I'm not going to say it's not a great idea. It's a great idea to have long term food, period. But this is a tiny one, y'all. This is the smallest one, probably. There might be one smaller that's, half size. But what I want to talk about is this shit weighs a lot of weight. This is a lot of weight. So, okay, so we got this screwed up. This is the deal. Let's really talk about this realistically. I'm going through it, so I'm going to tell you from my heart and then from a little research I did. So yes, we can food. It has what, 3 to 5 years. Some of it longer than that. It's great. Let's talk about the downfalls of canning food. And people might get pissed off and say, "Well, off the wall, we need to have food. We got to have food." Well, we got to have food that we can move from place to place to place. In the worst case prepping world, and the SHTF happens, and we're with a WROL, which we already are. How many of you in the chat right now believe we're in a WROL? We are, right? So we have situations coming at us already here in the United States. Okay. So I know my ideal situation, and yours too, is to bunker in. We don't want to bunker out in the forest. We don't want to go to the mountains. We don't want to have to camp indefinitely at a river. We don't want to have to jump in our RVs and cruise through the world without any care or without direction, right? Okay, but all shit breaks loose. WW3 is already here. It's around the world. People are feeling it economically, losing jobs with the new lockdowns coming at people around the world. So, and I think that the United States will have another lockdown. How soon? I don't know. But when it comes to food, this little shit and jar right here, can y'all guess how much that little tiny jar weighs? This little jar. This is the smallest one, Country Prepper. How much do you think this weighs? Hello, Emma. How much do you think this little jar weighs? It weighs close to a half a pound. Oh, shit. So you're telling me that we're going to take glass jars, throw them in our vehicles, or our trucks, in our RVs or our campers, and we're going to move these glass jars from place to place to place? Somebody's got this picture screwed up. Screwed up. See? Okay, yeah, see? And this is the smallest one, Sally. This is a small one. This is a half a pound. Okay, come on now. Let's be realistic. Let's prep in the real damn world, not in this world of YouTube tells me to do this, and this prepper tells me to do that, and this prepper tells me to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not taking all this food. Every single person that has purchased something from this cabin, I have been giving, "Oh, have a canned food." "Oh, well, thank you so much." People have been tipping me for the food. Thank you. I've been selling stuff. I've been selling them, the jellies, the jams, the whatever. Uh, I can't take all this food. And when you really break it down, when you really freaking break this down, it's unrealistic, it's bullshit, and we've been sold this thought of canning food is the way to go for longevity. It's not. It's not the way. It's not the way in any way, shape, or form. And I'm telling you from the heart, I'm taking very little of this. Why? Weighs too damn much. It's breakable. It could spill. The lids will pop. I don't have enough rings to go over every single one and carry it. And Yeah, I've been lifting weights, but Jesus, Lord help me. I'm not going to carry 500 of these cans of these glass jars. I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, it's the 3 Bs, bullets, beans, and what is it? Barf? Yeah, it's so inconvenient. So this is why I wanted to talk about this morning because you know we're always told water, food, water, food. It's air. The 3 big preps are your spirit, air, and water. We can go a long time without food. Not only can we go a long time without food, we could hunt, we could fish, we could eat a can of beans or some damn rice. But carrying all this weight, I'm going to tell you from real world prepping, it's nonsense. It's one thing if you have an army of people and you're going to bunker in and you got a root cellar and that food is down in the root cellar and you're going to protect that with your lives, right? So that it doesn't a group of thugs, a group of perpetrators don't come in and take all your shit. But the honest to God truth is I'm looking at MREs. MREs, okay, some of them are nasty tasting. I'm just going to say the truth about them as well. Some of them are so salty that it tastes like you're just picking up a teaspoon of salt. I am, Carol. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm helping people with them. Okay. I'm helping people. I'm helping people. Yeah, but an army marches on its stomach. And that's true. But that's why MREs are so good, country prepper. MREs are so good because they're small, they're compact, they're light, they have a longer shelf life than this. They're not breakable. They're not breakable. You're not going to break an MRE. It's in a sealed bag. You carry this. I'd like to see somebody carry 2 backpacks of this for a week. You know, our ancestors see when we go back to the Great Depression and when I was doing those live streams in that series, the thing is, the lost ways teaches us things that are important, like foraging, like hunting, like fishing, like being able to survive off the land. Yeah. What's that one? Miniature Trading Company MRE. Let me grab something to write with. I've never heard of that one. Um, I've never heard of that one. Are they tasty? Is the question. And the salt level. The salt level is huge. The salt level is huge, folks. Um, some of the MREs, some of the MREs are downright disgusting. Miniature Trading Companies MRE. I'm gonna have to check it out. What do you think of the taste of them? Minotaur. Thank you. Uh, thank you, Minotaur MREs. You know, I like the brown bags. You know, I've done some demos with the brown bags MREs. Hi Emma. Hi Teresita. Hi Skippington. Love everybody. Um, I think that the smaller and the more compact those MREs are, the easier it's going to be to carry them. But you know, also I am not getting rid of the 5 gallon buckets with the gamma lids because they're full of rice and beans. And it's easy to carry a 5 gallon bucket and throw it in a truck. Now I wouldn't want to carry it on the back of a motorcycle or something like that, but to carry it from place to place, you could do that, just like our ancestors did during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, they're on wagons, you know, I mean, let's go back further in the Lost Ways, late 1800s. They're on wagons. They carried buckets and bags, more of the flour sacks full of rice, coffee, sugar, flour, things that were very important that were staples. And I think that that's really important. But this bullshit carrying 500 of these jars, you got me screwed up. In real world prepping, it's not going to work. I'm going to tell you that right now, unless you're going to bunker in and fight to stay in that location. That's the only way that it's really, really going to work is to stay in that location. If you all think that that's messed up or you think I got that wrong, go ahead and tell me in the chat. But I'll tell you what, the more I've looked into The MREs. Like I like MRE Stars. MRE Stars is the brown bag. Right now on My Patriot Supply, you can buy about a case of them with the heaters for right around $100. That case, when you get one of those brown bags, you can actually separate it like I did before and have 2 meals. And the nice thing is you got the cracker, you got the condiments, you got the jam, you got everything with it. And so that's another really nice thing is that you have 2 meals for one person for the whole day. Um, if you wanna help support the channel and get something back, you can use, the link. It is on the about page, but also it's maybe right here. I don't know if I still have it on here or not. I may not. Yeah, it's right here. There is the MRE stars. You can get the MRE stars there. You can also get the, food buckets, which I like the food buckets, and there's the link that you use, that bit.ly/3DRRP1. That does help the channel if you decide to get them. You can find that on the About page also. But honestly, it's not to me, it's not about pushing the MREs. What it's about is real world prepping. And in real world prepping, we got some things just jacked up. I think the skills, learning foraging, that those two things are going to come into play more. I also would suggest to anybody here in the United States, if you do not have some nuclear gear, and when I say nuclear gear, there is, if you go to the reboot playlist, you can go to the reboot playlist, you can watch demos, you can also see the nuclear specials I did. Do I believe that we're still in danger of a nuclear war? Possibly, possibly. But why would the Chechnya pets or any other country want to come in and dismantle their asset, which is the United States? When the United States, when we completely fall, which we're on the verge of, when we completely fall, I think what'll happen is that they'll come from shore to shore, just like I've talked about before. I do want to bring to all of you this morning, and I don't know if we really want to see it, but um, is that I haven't been doing a lot of news, and y'all realize that I have not been doing news. I still enjoy news. I've just been staying away from it because it's like, Lord have mercy. But I think some things are pertinent to us here in the United States as well as around the world. Is that the more people lose jobs, the more we're going to have more and more crime. And as you can see by the crime map, it's pretty bad right now, folks. It is pretty bad. I think that the more I open this up, the more we see what's occurring around the country. And what's happening is the more people lose their jobs, the more people get under stress, the more that happens, the higher the crime rate goes. Also, I think with it being an election year, we are going to see the crime rate just explode here in the United States. Ooh, that word is dangerous in on YouTube. I just said a bad word. So I want to talk about this a little bit because as you can see here, like, 12 minutes ago, folks, it's 7:30 in the morning on July 3rd, 2024. And we have so much crime going on right now. Everywhere that you see a gun, shots fired, 7 rounds heard at South Prairie. We got another one up here. Shots fired, caller heard multiple shots. Up here on the far left in Oklahoma, officer involved shooting, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I'm just going to point out these this morning. Central officers are on a homicide scene. First thing this morning, adult male deceased. We have another one up here in Buffalo. Confirmed shots fired at Woodlawn. We had bullet holes in the second story window. That's nice. Hudson Woodbury caller heard shots fired. We come down here. Look at this stolen vehicle assault on police juvenile arrest. Officers received a hit on the license plate reader. They went after it, and it was involved in an armed robbery in the Southwest District. Officers responded to the area, set up a perimeter, and officers located the vehicle, which point the driver accelerated his vehicle, striking 2 police vehicles, and fled the area. We go on down, we go on up here further in the East Coast. A man suffered from a non-life-threatening injuries in a shooting Tuesday evening in Boston, Mass. Come on over here. We got the skull everywhere too. They're conducting an outdoor death investigation at the 2800 block of North Downing Street in Denver, Colorado. And poor California. Poor California. California is a gosh dang mess. Well, California is just off the chart messy. Hey, Mama Freddie, hooga, 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 Teresita, Skippington, the best one. Thank you all for being here. Emma, thank you. Country Prepper. I think that, we're going to see this escalate more and more. We have some problem areas in the United States, which is definitely California. We got some fires going on too. We got a bunch of fires going on up there in the San Jose area, as you can see. But if you come down in here into California, everywhere you look, shooting victim incident, Holiday Hills, Los Angeles. We go up here, we got Sacramento police. A pedestrian was hit. Ooh, nice. Wow, shit. Wow. Okay. But, California has some major problems going on between the fires and everything else. Another man shot and killed in Oakland. That doesn't surprise me. But the sad thing is that as we back up and we look at this map, it's downright sad what's happening. I mean, look around the country. And of course, Chicago is up there with the fine people. That's what happens. That's what happens, folks, when you say that people cannot carry a weapon to protect themselves, is what's happening in Chicago, Los Angeles, and other areas around the country. It is crazy. It's absolutely downright. It's crazy, Carol. It's crazy. And I said someday we're going to open this map, and pretty soon it's just going to be all blue. I think that time is coming. Hey, Rachel, what's going on with you? Glad to see you. Um, it's a disaster. It is really truly a disaster. And this 4th of July always brings me to this place, right, in our country where our country has shifted so much. I don't know about y'all, but I look back into the 80s. The 80s were just great times for me. One, I was in California. I was on the beach all the time, but California was so beautiful still back in the 80s. And my brother recently went out there and he was talking about, my God, there's homeless everywhere. It's drug infested. It's a downright shame. But this country has become drug infested. This country is already at the WROL. We're without the rule of law. And I think the closer we get to election, it's going to be really sad. Hey, Sherry. It has. And it's getting worse and worse, Sherry. I think the sad thing is that people really feel that they can just not walk down the street anymore without truly being on point here in the United States. It has become a dangerous country. And I think with the corruption on the Hill, it's not helping anything. We have an open border that is a damn mess. It's a disaster. Cali was nice before yeah, it was nice once upon a time. It really was. Good morning, Lot Lot. It was really a nice place. I remember one thing is like my aunt and my uncle bought a house there in San Dimas in the 1950s. And when I was a kid, I remember going out there and all you could see was strawberry fields and orange orchards forever and ever. And now you go to that same place, that little 46,000, $50,000 home just recently sold for over 2.1 million. It's a little tiny house. And then they wonder why people, right? Why people are homeless because it's the income levels here and the housing levels here. And when people cannot get bare necessities, we're in trouble, folks. Yeah. Oh, Nashville's something. Nashville's something. And I agree with you, Mama Freddie. California is still beautiful. This country's still beautiful. But I think that it's going to come down to each and every one of us standing up, getting involved actively. And I've said this before, and I mean it from my heart. If you're just going to talk, then go sit in the corner. If you are going to say that you care about this country, then get up off your ass and do something to make a difference. And the only way we can do that is to actively get involved in our state, our county, our city governments, our schools. We see what's happening in the schools. They want to turn every damn kid in the United States into a furry that doesn't know if they are this or if they're that. And no matter what you are, if you're gay, straight, or bi, which I don't give a shit. The thing is taking a radical ideology and implementing it into elementary schools to children that are not even developed is damn wrong. It's wrong. Let children be children, and that's a big problem in the United States. That is a big freaking problem in the United States, is that we have taken the pacifier and stuck it in their mouth, which is the cell phone. Here's your cell phone. Be happy. Shut up. Mom and dad don't want to deal with you. And until we as adults take back the responsibility of our families and become the head of our family, even if you're a female or a male, it does not matter. If you're the only parent, you have to play both roles and you have to step to the plate and you have to take responsibility for your child. It's not okay that Bobby tells his teacher off and tries to slam her with a book. It's not okay that a kid hits a teacher. It's not okay when you see that kid having a damn fit and the parent gives in because they don't want to be embarrassed. That's fact. That's fact. And you're right, Sherry. And it's running amok. It's running amok. I used to go down to Skid Row 2 times a year with blankets and clothes, but I don't feel safe anymore. And it's sad, Mama Freddie, that you cannot go into those area. I remember in the late '80s, they sent me to work in Watts, and this is when there wasn't cell phones, there was pay phones everywhere, and I remember opening a phone booth, and the man looked up at me, and he said, "This is where I sleep at night. Could you go somewhere else?" And I said, "Sure. You have a good day." And I handed him like $5 or something so he could eat lunch. But I didn't feel intimidated or worried in those areas. But I'm sure with the way the times are rolling, we're going to feel more and more of that as we go into communities and areas where safety because of color could be as concern for both, for any nationality, honestly, for any nationality. A lot different to live that way, but by choice rather than having no choice. It's very true. Some parents are scared of their kids. And see, Carol, I'll tell you what, that's a problem in the United States. That's a huge problem. I still believe in the old saying that, it takes more than just the parents to raise a kid. It takes a village. And I believe that all of us have to get actively involved. Even if you're a grandma or aunt or uncle, go to your kids' activities, maybe even go to their parent teacher conference. The thing is I really don't believe at this point that we're going to be able to change around public schools. Public schools are just they're they're screwed up, and I think that's because back then there wasn't as much meth and heroin, well, and fentanyl and trunk, and can the list go on and on? It does, Mama Freddie. I say whoop them while they're young, teach them the right way, teach them respect, and, the thing is that a lot of people say, "Well, I can't whoop my child." That's bullshit, okay? That's bullshit, it's a cop out. It's a cop out. You can still discipline your child. There's a difference between disciplining your child and abusing your child. There's a big, huge difference. I was, in Texas, and one of my friends' cousins, I believe it was a cousin, came to live with us. And I told her, you're 13, you're not gonna smoke in this house. You're not gonna do this, this, and this. This is just how it is. Well, what do I smell? I smell cigarettes. And at the time, I had not smoked for 12 years or something. And she ran out of the house and went straight to the police department to try to get me in trouble. The police came and they talked to me and they said, "Who has legal custody?" I said, "We do," because we had a paper signed because she was going to be with us all summer. He said, "What happened?" I said, "She's smoking damn cigarettes and she's 13 years old. That's what happened." And I told her that it wasn't a fly and I grabbed the cigarettes and I squished them. And he gave her a chewing out. And see, I think so many times people think that law enforcement is just here to badger us. And honestly, they have a very hard job. And with all this defund the police shit that went on the last couple years, um, you can't blame the police for wanting to not be involved in law enforcement anymore. And one thing that I would ask each and every one of you this 4th of July weekend, if you see a police officer, a sheriff, a first responder, an EMT, a veteran, go up and shake their hand and say thank you. They get shit on a lot by American people. You got a good whooping. Go up and say thank you and mean it from your heart and tell them thank you that we appreciate them putting their life on the line to help us. I don't know about y'all. Hit it in the chat. Have any of you over the last 2 years had to call a police, fire, or EMT? Hit a 1 if you have. You know, we need to show a little bit more respect for the guys in blue. And that comes down to the kids too. The kids have learned this thing, well, I don't have to show my ID, I don't have to do this. And I understand feeling that way. I understand feeling that way because you all know that I believe in being a sovereign citizen of the United States. Um, I believe that taxation without representation is wrong, but the thing is there's still a line. And sometimes I think that when people say, "Well, I'm not gonna show my ID," all they're doing is causing an escalation of a situation that could be very easy remedy if they just went with the program. And sometimes I believe that we have to pick our battles, and when we stand up, that's a different situation. I learned that after one belt whooping, don't disrespect my parents. Well, I learned after a weeping willow branch across my ass that my grandpa had a mean hand, you know? But I think that maybe all of us, there's what, 1,500 people in the chat, which is always so nice. I really appreciate the 1,500. But the thing is like if each one of us reflect that in our lives and you're around maybe your grandkids, your niece, or your nephew, they're gonna be like, look what mama just did. Look at what papa just did. Look what they just did." And we have to teach our kids. And that's a big problem. And I think that's been a big problem the last decade is that as Americans, we've taken our hands off our kids and handed them over to public school. And now public schools feel they can teach them and do whatever. Did I didn't even realize this. I was talking to a lady the other day, and I did not realize that children don't even learn how to cursive write in any way, shape, or form. Now, someone else told me that they're learning really not to write at all because of computers. How do you sign an agreement? How do you do that? I mean, I guess if it's all digital, I mean, I guess that's maybe where we're headed, but I think that's a damn shame because in the United States and around the world, reading, writing, and arithmetic have always been number one and they've been priorities. And so I think that AI can be a wonderful, wonderful thing. But I also think that AI is making people stupid lazy. Stupid lazy. I didn't see any ones. No one's called a police, fire, or EMT in the last year or two. That's surprising. Parents, yeah. I mean, why raise them? Give them a cell phone, put them on Google, put them on Fakey Book, let them go on YouTube when they're 9. Come on. Stick them in front of YouTube and let them watch cartoons that you don't even know what the hell they're watching. And then people get all pissy, right, Sherry? People get all pissy that there's perpetrators taking advantage of children. Uh, you know, if you're not watching your child and being responsible for your child, be it at a park or in your own home. And I think the computer is a great way for a perpetrator to come right in your front door, sit right down with your kid and have breakfast and lunch. It's the truth of the matter. California passed a bill that starts this year. Kids will be taught in grades 4 to 6. They'll be taught how to write in grades 4 to 6. Is that what you're saying? They'll be taught cursive in grade 4 to 6. At least they're going to teach them. I mean, wow. They don't teach writing here anymore in Buffalo. Shit. That's crazy to me. I mean, I guess we're old school. And maybe that's why they want to get rid of all of us. Oh, you know why they want to get rid of all of us? Because you and me, ladies and gentlemen, we are the freaking glitch that they're worried about. We are the generation of people that still believe in good old fashioned values. We're the generation that still believes in opening the door for an elder person. We still believe in saying hi to your neighbor, and we still believe that you should stand for the flag. And that's what they want to get rid of. They're erasing history all around the country, and it's a shame. It is a shame. I have a busy day again. I will be doing a live stream probably around 1 p.m. Central. If you want to join me, I will be at the gym, and I like when you all come in and cheer me on. It makes me feel better because this is a new journey for me. I've worked muscles I didn't even know I had anymore. But I do want to say that, there's things that we can't do. We can't control what's happening at the Hill. We can't control who's selected, not elected in the presidential race. We can't control how other people react. But what we can do as preppers is one, figure out a solution to this food thing. Because I'll tell you what, this shit is heavy. It's heavy. And if for some reason you have to move from your dwelling in case of an emergency, what are you going to do? We always have to have a plan A, B, and C. And we always have to be thinking of our kids and our grandkids in case we're not here tomorrow. By prepping food, by prepping skills and teaching those generation after generation, see, no one can take the skills away from us. No one. They can take away the food. They can pollute the air. They can pollute the water. Getting on point about water purification is really important. If you can't afford an Alexa Pure or a Berkey, figure out how to make it with a 2 5-gallon buckets and some good old charcoal and rocks. It's cheap, it's easy, but it works. Also, remember that no matter what, we're not going to be getting the PFAs out of the water. We're not going to be getting, if there's a nuclear situation, that radiation is not going to come out of the water for quite a while. I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but it's going to be a while. I need a loan so I can buy my bigger dumbbells. They're over $200. Get a gym membership, Country Prepper. It may be cheaper. I worked out on a badass machine when I was out of town. That machine cost around 10 grand a machine, and they had like 10 of them. It would have been nice to roll one of those right into my living room at my new place in Colorado. I think that health, air, and skills and being spiritually centered, as I always say, is so important. And I hope that this channel keeps bringing you light, love, and hope, and that you keep staying centered because there's things that we can't change, but there's things that we can change, and there's things that we can do instead of reacting, being proactive and going forward in our prepping life. And each one of our journey is different. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything I say is 100% accurate. And if some big Billy badass prepper tells you so, do your own due diligence. Figure it out on your own. Don't just take everybody's word and say, "Yep, I believe you. That's what I'm going to do." The thing is YouTube is full of great, great knowledge. There's a lot of great creators from all different kinds of niches. But the thing is that you still have to do your due diligence. Don't come back to them and say, "Well, you told me so." No. What I'm telling you, each and every one of you, is it's our journey, and we're in charge of our journey step by step. I hope that each one of you has a fabulous 4th of July. There'll be another 4th of July video coming out. It will be a live stream tomorrow night from a live event. And I want to say God bless you from here in the Ozarks right now. Big, huge prepper hugs. And I hope that you all stay centered and focused. That's the most important thing. That being said, we're going to take it out the OTWP way with a couple songs. If you want to stay, you're welcome to. If you want to GO, which I know some of you like, I'm out of here. I hate that music shit. I'm here to prep. I'm Billy Badass and I'm Big Bertha Bombeck. You know, have a great day if you decide to leave. If you decide to stay and chat, I hope that you enjoy the next couple songs. Remember, there's a big difference in our communities, in our prepping life between being a watcher and a doer. Which one do you choose? God bless y'all. I love that song. I want to say one last thing. I'm going to play two songs. Um, one is no matter what happens, no matter what comes at you, y'all, keep the faith, keep on putting your boots on the ground every single day, and don't stop believing. Just don't stop. That's the most important thing. Here we go.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Strangers waiting, up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching through the night. Street light, people, they're mystifying emotion and hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold until that feeling. Street light, people. A cigarette in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting, up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching through the night. Whoa, street light, people, living this night emotion and hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold until that feeling, yeah. Street light, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to your heart. Hold on to your heart. Oh, Sherry, hold on to your heart. Hold on to your heart. So now I come to you with hold on, get home. So now I go dance the way you do. Hold on to your
Don't stop believing.